Hello students, welcome to TSS online classes. Today we will discuss the NCERT class 8th geography chapter 2nd, that is land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Children, this is a very interesting chapter. We will look at how they are distributed in different parts of the world. What are their characteristics, how useful they are for us, the problem associated with them, and of course, given their importance, we will discuss ways to conserve and to sustain them too. So, we shall understand these natural resources one by one, beginning with land and soil. Now, here's something interesting and surprisingly, do you know that 90% of the world population occupies only 30% of the available land area? Do you know that? But the remaining part, 70% of the land, is either sparsely populated or there is no life on it whatsoever. It may sound unbelievable given that so many of us, in fact billions of us, live on the planet Earth. But it is surprisingly true. We cover just 30%, and land is among the most important natural resources. It covers only about 30% of the total area of Earth's surface. Most part of a smaller percentage are not habitat. This means that the distribution of population, all life is uneven of different parts of the world. What has led to such uneven distribution? But it is mainly due to varied characteristics of land and climate. The rugged topography, which refers to rocky or rough land or study related to land, seen in certain part of the world, make it difficult for human life to thrive in these places. Steep slopes of the mountain, low laying areas, they are always prone to waterlogging. Desert areas where water scarcity is constant problem. Thickly forested areas are among the sparsely populated or just uninhabited regions. On the other hand, the plains and river valleys offer suitable land, favorable climatic conditions, and of course, sufficient water for agriculture and other human activities. And that's why these are densely populated areas of the world. All people lives in the groups or communities in these areas. Now let's say how land is utilized or used by people. Take a look in figure 2.1 in your textbook is Salzburg in Austria. Can you see how land here is used in many different ways? To take a close look, it used for building houses, for agriculture, grazing animals, and so much more. So you see, land is used for different purposes: agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses and road setting ups of industries. And these activities, let me tell you, of land uses. Does every country utilize land for all these purposes? I don't think so. So our next topic is determinant of land use patterns. The use of land depend upon two factors. First is physical factor and second is human factor. Now, the first factor is physical factor. Physical factor such as a kind of soil, its qualities, availability of water in that particular area, which help us to know what kind of activity is possible to flourish in that area. And the next one is human factor. Human factor such as the population and technology, particularly in that area, which leads to the development such as construction of road, bridge, etc. Based on the ownership, land are classified into two types. First, private land, and second is community land. So what is private land? Private land is the land owned by individual, for example an individual or independent house, whereas community land, which is owned by the community for the common purpose, such as community garden, temple gardens, etc. It is a commonly property resources. With the help of technology, we can see the common property resources are developed for the betterment and improvement. Next, we will be discussing about the hazards that land faces. The first one is deforestation or degradation of land. If there is degradation of land in any specific area rapidly, it would be definitely affect the quality of the soil, and all the rich soil will be flowed away, and which is decreases the fertility of the soil. Deforestation may be due to mining or industrial activities. Next, landslide are the common problem in the hilly areas, that soil erosion of land is due to degradation of land. Now, next we learn how to conserve of land resources. These land resources, we can plant more trees, or this is known as afforestation. By land reclamation, which means creating new lands, minimize chemical uses of pesticides, insecticides, fertilizers, avoid overgrazing, to have to check overgrazing which leads to barren lands. So these are the conservation of land resources. Now our next topic is soil. So our first question is, what is soil? Soil is a thin layer of grainy substance of covering the surface of the earth. Have a look at the structure of the soil in figure. Here we will find at the bottom we have the parent rock, next weathered rock, subsoil, and topmost layer which is very fertile, known as organic. How various factors are responsible for soil formation. The first factor is parent rock, which determines color, texture, chemical properties. The second factor is relief, based on the altitude and slope of the region. We can know the quality as well as the thickness of the soil. And the next factor is flora, fauna, microorganisms, as well as all know that if there are good amount of microorganism in soil, then the soil will be more fertile and there will be higher of humus formation, which is good for the crops. The next factor is time. It is a very important factor as it develops the thickness of the soil. And the next factor is climate. The climate conditions such as climatic condition, rainfall, weathering, temperature also affects the quality of soil. Students, please be with me. Now our next topic is, here is some types of soils: alluvial soil, black soil or rigor soil, red soil, laterite soil, desert soil, mountain soil. So these are the kinds of or types of soil. So students, our next topic is methods of soil conservation. Methods of soil conservation. Here is the first move to next moment is terrace farming, and in this method broad flat steps or terrace, as they are called, are made of steep slopes, like you can see in figure. This is done so that the flat surface are available to grow crops, and it is very helpful reducing surface runoff and soil erosion. Next we have intercropping. In this method different crops are grown in alternative rows and are sown at different time to protect the soil from rainwash. The next method is counter plucking. Counter plucking, this is where the land is plugged parallel to the counters of a hill slope, like you can see in figure. This is done to form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope and prevent soil erosion. Come into the last method, and the last is shelter belt. Shelter belt means planting rows of trees in the coastal and dry regions to protect the areas against to the wind and to protect soil cover. These are some of the methods which help in the conservation of soil. Well, We had a look at the two resources till now, land and soil, and this we have to come to the end of the first topic, but we have few more resources to be discussed about. Thank you.